Hey, kid, may I speak to the children of America very quickly?
Please.
I'm going to look straight down the barrel, as they say. Hi,
Mhm.
kids. This is your Uncle Gary Anthony Williams here. And if your parents say I'm not your uncle, they're liars. Look.
And I know Ace and I are so excited about our guest. Let's just bring him out. He's the one and only Gary Anthony Williams.
Oh, I thought you would never get to me, kid. I need this moment so much. I need this moment.
How are you?
This is so great.
I'm good, guys. I'm good. As soon as this is over, there's a hurricane brewing off Florida. I got to go ride it. A lot of people don't know this about me. I'm a trained hurricane rider. Now, I don't ride them out. Bareback riding hurricanes. As soon as this is done, yeah.
Come on down.
It's who I am. This is what I do.
Right. For sure. Well, let us know how that goes. Please give us all the updates. Yeah.
Okay.
And be safe.
Yeah, I'll be live streaming.
Yes, most importantly, be safe.
Streaming. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
But of course, we have your back. So one of the first things I wanted to ask you, Gary, is I saw that you performed at the Georgia Shakespeare Festival, which I think is so cool. I am super fascinated by all things Shakespeare, but I wanted to know, do you have any theater superstitions? Like, obviously you don't say the Scottish play inside a theater, but do you have any of those?
Cadet, I will say the Scottish play. I dare the evils of the theater to come and try to stop me. I'm not a very superstitious person. I will say the name of the Scottish play. I will not do those things people do, is like spit and turn around 3 times and stuff like that. I'm challenging it all. I do tend to say, like, I do a show with this group called The Black Version. We usually tell each other don't suck right before we go on stage.
Relatable.
But that's more like, dude, please don't suck, because I don't want to have to carry you throughout the show. In that show are people like, it's an all-black improv comedy show, and it's Phil Lamar, who I don't know if you guys have had on your show before, doing voiceover.
No, but I'm supposed to see him this weekend if I make it out of Florida, so we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm going to ride that hurricane right out of there, so if you want to get on the back of that pony, then come right on.
Please. Gary, thank you.
So it's Phil Lamar, Cedric Yarbrough, who's another also voiceover actor guy, Jordan Black, used to write for SNL, Daniel Gaither, and Naima Funk, myself, and then Karen Moriyama. But like the only superstition is, and it's not even superstition, it's don't suck. So
important. Yeah.
Well, if I could send that message to all the children, kid, may I speak to the children of America very quickly?
Please.
I'm going to look straight down the barrel, as they say. Hi, kids. This is your Uncle Gary Anthony Williams here. And if your parents say I'm not your uncle, they're liars. Look, if I can teach you guys anything in this world, there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of things you can be. But in all of them, each and every one of those choices you make in life, make sure you don't suck while you go at it. That's from your Uncle Gary. You're welcome.
Perfect words of wisdom. Speaking of the youth, when you were a young man, what kind of fandoms helped shape you when you were growing up?
A young man. I was and still am a ridiculous Warner Brother Bugs Bunny cartoon freak. I loved all cartoons, first of all, pretty much everything. But as far as the old Warner Brothers stuff, absolute 100% freak about that stuff. And then as I grew older, I was still watching cartoons. Like, still every night before I go to bed, my girlfriend turns cartoons on the television for me when she goes to bed. It's like, here you go. Here's something to keep you placated. I still watch cartoons literally every single day of my life.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's it. Like, honestly, more than anything, I always liked magicians. I love to watch magicians and comedians, and especially ventriloquists. I was always amazed by those dudes. But number one, as far as, like, I hate to say this, but even studying acting was me watching Bugs Bunny. Like, oh, that guy's really good with characters. I like him.
Yeah. And Mel Blanc, right, was the original voice of Bugs, correct?
Yeah, Mel Blanc. Yeah. A lot of them. He I don't know if you know this, but Porky Pig, the original Porky Pig, was a real stutterer that they had hired, but it was so uncomfortable for people to listen to. Then, like, they had to replace him.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, Mel Blanc did every freaking voice, and now, of course, Eric Bauza took all of those jobs, and now he does them all.
Wow. See, I feel like if I would watch cartoons before I go to sleep rather than, the Dahmer story, I'd probably have more like happy dreams than these nightmares I've been dealing with lately.
But maybe there'll be a nice, fun, animated Jeffrey Dahmer story, just something for the little ones, for the preschoolers.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh no, now they're going to do it.
Yeah. There might be, just something, but something with the edge off. The edge is taken off of it, kid. It's not as edgy as this one. Just something fun.
Yeah, just I don't know how that goes.
Tomorrow if they announce the new Jeffrey Dahmer cartoon coming up on Disney, coming up next.
Only on the Disney Channel.
Darn Dahmer, then you'll know that they stole it from us on this.
Darn Dahmer.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll employ all three of us to provide some voices for the characters.
I kind of don't want to be on it, but but I wish you guys well.
I might consider it as long as I don't have to be the title role. I'll take it.
Yes, of course. Well, speaking of cartoons, you got to be a real life cartoon when you were in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
You played Bebop. Oh my gosh, obsessed. Yeah. So you mentioned you like cartoons and stuff, but did you grow up reading any comics as well? And
yeah, go ahead. That seemed like either a two or a multi-parter you were about to break into, and I interrupted. I hope it's a 20-part question.
Yes, there's 17 more parts.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was thinking if you had like a favorite hero or villain as well.
As far as reading comic books, I was never a big comic book reader. My cousin Greg, he left me a bunch of comic books, this huge bag. And I remember they were like under the stove, and they were under there forever. And now and then I would go look through them, and he was a huge comic book collector. And at some point, my mother was like, "Oh, what are these?" And then they were gone. But I never really read comic books. I was all cartoons all the time. And so then, like, my cartoon heroes were like Spider-Man was just the single coolest guy in the world to me.
Still is.
Yeah, Spider-Man was it. And then there was another, like a more kids cartoon. There was a little character named Adam Ant. I don't know why I loved Adam Ant so much, but I always did. He was one of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons back in the day.
Adam Ant.
But Spider-Man was it. And even then, as a kid, like, I never, ever, 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 ever would have imagined that I would have as part of my career. I have a 12-part career. One, of course, is hurricane riding, or we call it hurricane busting. That's what we call it in the business.
Perfect.
Yeah. I never would have imagined that I was going to be one of the guys making cartoon voices ever. Like that wouldn't have been a thought in my head.
And you are. Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah, I had to fight my way into the business. I mean, before this, you mentioned Fred Tatasciore. I've knocked him around a little bit. You have to make someone give up before you can get in the business. So, I knocked him out. I do it again. I have no shame about it. Gray Delisle, I've disabled her several times.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you name it. I'll fight them. I'll vocally fight any of them, kid.
Okay. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something I'm proud of, but it's definitely not something I'm ashamed of. But it is something I will never repeat.
Okay.
After this moment, just so you know.
You heard it here for the first and last time.
Yep.
Hey guys, I just want to ask. I always like to check in with my collaborators. I'd like to call you guys today. I'd also like to call you my parents, but that doesn't fit. How's the interview going so far? Like on a scale from one being the lowest, 10 being the middle, and 5 being the highest. And I don't know how numbers work.
Okay.
1's the lowest, 10's the middle.
10's the middle.
5 is the highest. And again, I don't care about math.
Okay.
how is this interview going? Are we killing it? Are we at a near a?
Yeah. So I'm right now getting a fraction. I'm at about a 33.3 repeating is where I think this is right now.
33.3 repeating. That's okay.
It's pretty good.
I mean, that's a 33. That's not even a 3.3 repeating. That's a 33 point. So we're well above 10, but as we know, 10's in the middle. Oh, well.
Okay. It's in there.
I'm a musician, so clearly I don't know anything about numbers. No. And I was going to give it a 100% approval rating and just walk away at that.
Just leave it. Just leave it. The same way I've seen you do in the middle of one of your shows, Ace. You just stop playing and just walk up the stage.
Yep.
Get in your car, go to either In-N-Out Burger or Five Guys. It's always one of those two.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like free peanuts, you go to Five Guys. If you want to just screw them up by ordering stuff that's not on the menu, you go to In-N-Out, and you never come back and pick up your instrument.
You can, on a Wednesday, you could catch me in Burbank at the Del Taco. It could get weird.
Delicious.
So I have a question for you then. While we're making jokes here and whatnot, what's your?
If you expect to get any better out of me than this,
well,
keep expecting, because you will get you actually will. You hold on, Ace.
We're gonna get to 150%, 200%, etc. through the roof.
Up to 11, as they say.
Up to 11.
Turn this one to up to 11. Pull the knobs off. So talking about comedy and your influences and being younger and you're starting your career. What is your first memory of comedy, and do you have a favorite comedy album by chance?
My first memories of I can answer that in two different ways. I have 6 sisters. Grew up with 6 sisters, 2 brothers.
Yeah. And
get this, a mom and a dad. I had both of them. Both of them. Yeah, just had both of them. Didn't even care. You know what I mean? Everybody in my household was funny. So I grew up around just funny people. People were funny in different ways. My brother Jeff was just a very funny guy. My mother was funny and just always lied to all of us about everything in good ways. So I think my first comedic influences seriously was just my family. As far as comedy albums go, I remember early on listening to Red Fox. Red Fox used to be Fred Sanford on Sanford and Son long ago, but he was a very dirty comedian, like very dirty. But like the dirty parts, like I wouldn't know what he was saying, but I knew it was something like something weird he's saying here that's making my brother really laugh. So that's the first comedy album I ever remember. Then after that, it was like Richard Pryor. And then later on, like, much later on was, Eddie Murphy, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Red Fox was the very first comedy album that I can remember.
When I during the craziness that this world has been going through the past couple of years,
wait a minute, is something going on in Florida that I don't know about? Because everything's normal where I am.
You don't want to know.
Okay.
But I went back and watched Match Game, and I think I remember Red Fox being one of the contestants or one of the panelists on there.
Easily.
So funny, and it still holds up. Like, it's just.
And they it was a lot edgier than they could do right now, like Match Game was. And they were like sitting around, they were smoking cigarette. Like you watch an old Sesame Street and stuff like that. Electric Company specifically, which was the older version of Sesame Street. He Who Shouldn't Be Named, Bill Cosby used to be on there. But he would be smoking a cigar as he talked to the kids. Like, wow, this is different.
Times are a-changing, so they say.
Times are a-changing. And with that in mind, I have invented a children's cigar.
Okay.
Just for children. It's a sweeter, lower tar cigar. It's safe for, as we say, toddlers to teenagers.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I just want the kids to feel like they're a part of this nation.
Does it have a bubblegum center?
It does. A smokable. Here's the crazy part, Ace. It's actually a tobacco bubble gum.
I love
it. Literally made out of tobacco. Yeah.
See, Had I known you when I was a kid, maybe now I would have been a smoker. But I didn't know you as a child, so unfortunately.
And we're not talking about like big league chew that looks like tobacco, but it's really bubble. This is tobacco that is bubble gum. Oh, I'll send you guys a map. I'll send you that.
So I was a big league chew avid user as a youth.
What a company, man, to make like, look, I know you're not going to chew tobacco yet, but we're going to get you started.
Yeah.
Warm you up a little. I love that. Well, we wanted to ask you, Gary, a little bit about Whose Line, and we wanted to know if points did matter. How many do you think you would have accumulated, and what would you buy with them?
Let me just say this. If points did matter on Whose Line Is It Anyway, I would own England because the creator of it is out of England. By the way, if anybody wants to buy England, it's super cheap right now. It's really cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they selling it by the pound?
Hey, man,
that's my one obligatory
joke. After your show next Wednesday, I want to see you at the Taco Bell rattling off those jokes.
Yes, sir.
I would have won all of England. The amount of points that I would have had they really doled them out properly. Certainly 15 points more than Wayne Brady would have.
Totally.
Because I'm as you learned earlier on, I'm a fighter. I'd wrestle him for his points. I'm known for wrestling. I'm also known for kiss fighting, which is not as popular anymore.
No.
It's not popular at all. And I learned that the hard way with a couple of cops. Me, surrounded by a couple of cops, trying to give them the kiss of their lives. And I've learned now.
Their loss, though, really.
Their loss. And eventually my loss as I was imprisoned.
I was hoping you were going to say it was their loss and your gain.
I wish it were. Ace. But no. Normally, no one loses in a kiss fight. On that night, we all lost in a kiss fight. I would have won all the points. Kid Cadet, by the way, I've been out on the road recently with those Whose Line guys. Here's what I didn't know that America needs to know, and certain parts of Guam also should know. But nobody in Laos should know this, but everyone else.
Okay.
There is a tour of Whose Line Is It Anyway that's been going on for 20 years. And I just start sitting in and doing some shows with them last October, but it's all over the country.
Yeah, I got to see it.
It's so fun. It's so fantastically fun. Yeah. So if it comes through your town, tell them Gary said, come see it. Don't charge me. Let me on the stage and into the tour van. And all of those things will be answered.
Great. I'm going to have a recording of that for the next time I do go to see it so they could hear it from your mouth.
Yeah, we'll reference this episode.
I didn't know you guys were recording stuff.
We are recording. I thought this was just
just for fun.
I thought it was buddies chatting, you know.
Yes, it is.
Has the show started yet? So speaking of the Who's Live Anyway tour and touring, etc., what is your favorite thing about being on tour? And then also, what's something besides the obvious that you always like to have with you at a show?
You've asked all the correct questions. But you asked them in a language that I was not expecting. I know you usually ask. Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite thing about touring, and I started about a year ago with them, is all of the different places that I never would have set foot in my entire life, getting a chance to spend some time there. Usually we're in a city for literally one day, and then you go on to another city. Like every night is a different city in general. You maybe once a week, you spend the night somewhere twice, but in general, it's a different city. So like getting to see people that I never would have met in places that I never would have seen, especially now, it's such a tumultuous time in America, but to go places where literally I'll be on stage of 1,000 people and go, wait, are there any other black people in here? It's like, nope. And then I would just make them all honorary black people for the evenings. Like, yeah, we're black. Like getting to see different kinds of people in different kinds of areas that I'm from the South, so I was used to that. But like in the Midwest, spending a lot of time there, up in Canada, spending time there, like that's just been absolutely fantastic. The thing that is like, we all do get to make little separate riders, and they're very good. Like, hey guys, if you guys want to drink after the show, sometimes stuff is closed. So if there's a bourbon or a beer or something you want, let us know. We'll provide that. I always want soy milk. That's in my rider. And if I don't get soy milk, once again, not only will I fight the cast, the producer, I'll find the creator of the show, Dan Patterson.
Ooh.
The guys who made the tires on the van, Michelin, I'll fight them. And then I will one by one line up and fight every member of the audience over 5'7".
Oh, so I'm cleared. Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a height thing. I have a height
requirement.
requirement.
So I'm going to ask you.
You must be this tall, to feel these fists. Yeah.
Okay, let me see how to ask this question, because I know you are vegan, yes? So does soy milk affect your vocal cords, like, and the way you speak the same way like a regular milk would? Because I know if you were to drink just like
get phlegmy and that kind of thing.
Yes. Does it do that?
No, not even a little. And I know that there's people out there right now in Ace, they are about to start texting and chatting and going in my inboxes everywhere going, there's phytoestrogen in soy, and to them I say no. If there was, I would want man boobs. I'd drink it just for the mastatitis. But that I have talked to several doctors and my son, and they're like, dude, you would have to ingest so much of that before you worry about that sort of thing. That's not worth you worrying.
I feel like there's an excuse for people that they use.
Yeah. And look, if you're Ace, if that was just a thing of whole milk you just turned up, I'm not angry with you. I'm not angry with anybody. Ace, if you fall asleep at night with a cow's teat in your mouth, that doesn't make me mad at you.
I've seen him do it. It's weird, but yeah.
I don't eat red meat. No red meat for me, but the teats, I still will.
Just the teats. Yep. Yeah. And Kid Cadet, if you fall asleep every night inside a cow's carcass and eat your way out, I'm not angry with you.
I pretend it's a tauntaun. Yes.
That doesn't affect me in a negative way. What you put in your mouth doesn't hurt me at all. So I just need other people to feel that same way about veganism.
Yeah, of course. I'm all for it. I think vegan food is amazing. I've had some delicious.
It can be.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll go to a vegan restaurant and I'll go, okay, I would never bring a non-vegan here because this sucks. And they're going to think, oh, all vegan food tastes like that. Like use a little salt now and then. But then a good vegan restaurant, I'll shove it. Like if I knew you guys were deep sleepers, I might shove some vegan food in your mouth in the middle of the night so you wake up with a good taste of vegan food in there.
That's I don't want to tangent here, but it's like when somebody told me once that they wanted to try I can't remember if it was a Beyond or an Impossible burger, and they said, I went to Burger King to have it and it was disgusting. I said, if you were going to take your friend who wanted a really delicious steak or hamburger, would you take him to Burger King for the first time?
Right.
That was your mistake.
Right. Or would you, if you want somebody to try some beautiful piece of beef, some beautiful marbleized, you also would not take them to a place that serves mostly vegetables.
Correct.
You would take them to a place that specializes in the meaty meat stuff. I actually don't eat that much of the Impossible or the Beyond Burger, but I'm not mad at anybody who does.
Same. Yeah. I mean,
I got to start getting mad at more people.
Same. Well, I've got that covered for all of us, I think.
Okay.
If you make them right and you put enough stuff on it, I really can't tell. So, you know, I'm a fan.
Ditto.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we just got sponsored by Beyond and Impossible.
Ding. Yes, of course. I wish. Wouldn't that be nice? So, Ace, why don't we each ask one more question and then we'll go to our game? Okay.
Sure.
So
We got games to play?
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a game.
Oh, Snapple.
There's no points, but we do have a game. So I wanted to
points.
ask at any point in your life or any point in your career, what would you say has been the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
The best piece of advice that I've ever received at any. I've gotten some advice that I've gotten some advice. I've gotten advice. Okay, one time I'm in Whole Foods. Can I quickly tell a story?
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
I'm in Whole Foods one time and I'm looking at some alternative proteins. And this older Black lady, even though I don't see age or color or sex, this older Black lady, I see all of those things. And that's all I see. This older Black lady comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, you should try this. It's called a field roast. It's all vegan." I was like, "Oh, does it taste too meaty? I don't like a lot of really meaty." She goes, "Yeah, it does." I go, "Okay." So that was in the store early. About 10 minutes later, we're maybe 20 feet apart on this really narrow aisle. And she yells across at me. She goes, "You, sir, are not a good actor." And I was like, "What?" And if you knew the amount of pleasure this brought to me just hearing her say that, because she didn't seem mad, and I certainly could care less if she really thought that. Like, all right, that's fine. And I was like, "Really? Why?" And now everyone in this area has stopped to look at us like, "What's happening here?" She goes, "You are inconsistent and you bug too much." So I was like, "Wow, okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's really helpful. I appreciate that." And it made me so very happy. So maybe her giving me advice, non-solicited advice in public in the middle of a Whole Foods, that was some great advice.
Okay.
Because I don't care. Nothing that she said is going to make me better or worse than I already was. I think the other advice that I got is just from watching people that I know, which is without them even saying anything, which is just, if you're enjoying what you're doing, just keep freaking doing it. But nobody's ever set me down and said, "Gary, this is good, this is bad, don't do this." I did when I moved to LA. A buddy of mine, his name is Nick Jameson. He moved to Iceland now, but he is one of the most miraculous voiceover dudes you would have ever met. Also does a lot of on camera. And for musicians, he was a producer and bass player in Foghat way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
But I freestyle. I'm a freestyler. I freestyle rap, any music. Like, that's my specialty, like on Who's Line. He can freestyle. He's like a 70-something-year-old white dude. He can freestyle hip hop as good as anybody you will ever see in your freaking life. But when I moved out to LA, he's like, "Can I cuss on this show, by the way? I
Yes.
don't know the rules." He was like, "Gary, there's motherfuckers out here in LA who's running comedy that don't know fuck about comedy." So I did know that early on. Like, if you're doing comedy in LA, don't think that the people who are hiring you, like, "Oh man, they really know comedy." They don't. They're just they got jobs they're trying to keep and fill spaces. So I know, I know that I'm never concerned with thinking that someone in LA, a producer or director or anything else, knows a whole lot more than I do about anything. I truly believe in seeking joy and finding joy. And if something makes me joyful, I go chase that down and I tackle it. And as you know, I wrestle it to the ground and I shove baby cigars in their mouths.
There it is.
Done. Perfect.
On that note, I had one last question for you.
Yeah. Guys, you can ask as many questions as you want.
Thank you.
But I'll start giving other people's answers. Like, I will give Wayne Brady's answers to your questions.
Following this next question, I want at least one Wayne Brady answer.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Speaking of comedy, what do you think the biggest misconception is about being a comedian?
Wow, that's a good question. I'll tell you, Hollywood-wise, is people don't realize that people who do comedic acting in general are also just regular actors.
Yeah.
Like I started out doing Shakespeare, so I'm theatrically trained. Before I moved to LA, the first thing I booked in LA big was a comedy, which was Malcolm in the Middle. So after I booked that, then everybody considered me, oh, he's a comedic actor. That's what he does. But before that, when I was working out of Atlanta, it was more dramatic stuff and scary stuff. Like, oh, I like, I can't tell you the amount of white women I chased down on TV and in movies there, and how many people I threatened with knives and like that kind of stuff, like on TV, not in real life.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But on TV. So I was mostly dramatic in Atlanta on television. And then the first thing I booked in LA was comedy. So then after that, it became, oh, he's a comedic actor. And so they kind of forget that you may have come from something else. I came from Shakespeare and improv, at the same time. So I think that's the biggest misconception. Funny people only can do funny stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Fair. Okay. Let's go into our game. Okay. This is a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers, and whatever you pick is correct.
Well, I know you're saying that for the audience, Kid Cadet, that there are no wrong answers, but you and I both know there are wrong answers in this.
Not.
We know that. Let's just be honest. There's some.
He's right. He's right. They're occasionally.
Very, very slim, but I think you're going to do great, Gary. I have high hopes for you. So we're going to bring these up. If you want to explain why you picked an answer, that would be great too. Okay. So here's the first one. Would you rather have to sing a hoedown at the end of every single day, or go through the audition process doing questions only? Or go through every audition process doing questions only.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. By the way, I noticed that both of those pictures you guys have up of me, one was when I was probably about 320 or 30 pounds, the one on the left, and then the other one is closer to my size right now. So thank you for bringing up all the many sizes of Gary. A hoedown. I like doing music. I love improvising music. I love rhyme. 100% a hoedown. 100%.
Gotcha. See, so far you got it right. So
you're already ahead.
So far, so good.
But I could have answered it wrong, so I'm glad I got it right.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, Adrian, the next one.
Sure.
Okay.
So, would you rather have mashed potatoes served to you by Hanson from Scary Movie 2, or eat a tofurkey from a can from Bob's Burgers?
First of all, Bob's Burgers, my 100% absolute favorite cartoon. Literally watch it every night.
And you were part of it, so
was part of it. Just did an episode recently.
Oh, nice.
Normally, I would say tofurkey from a can would be gross. Here's the thing. About 10 years ago, I went on an eating plan that I created myself called White is Evil. And I cut out all the white foods like potatoes, wheat, rice, pasta, bread. So I got to get rid of the potatoes, even though it's from the gentle hands of Hanson. Those gentle, beautifully tapered fingers. I'm going to go with the tofu turkey.
Now, let me ask, what about sweet potato? Does that fit in your...
I do eat a sweet, you're a kid, you guys are asking everything right. On my kitchen counter right now, I took a sweet potato out that I had cooked a couple of days ago to let it get room temperature so it's ready to eat when I get back. Right now, I'm in my writing partner's office. Okay. But when I get back home, there's a sweet potato ready for me. So now and then I do eat sweet potatoes.
So good. My favorite. All right. Tofurkey in a can. Delicious. Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather compete as a duo with Wayne Brady on Fear Factor, or compete as a duo with Colin Mockery on The Amazing Race?
Holy crap. Fear Factor, if I remember right, did they make you eat a lot of weird stuff like spider butts?
You're right. Yes. Probably not on the meal plan.
Okay, yeah. If they make a vegan, if they if they make a vegan Fear Factor, which that seems like a very specific show. It's a
Yes.
duo with Colin on The Amazing Race. Wow, this is one of those you can get it wrong or right.
Don't get it wrong.
Yeah. I still got to go Fear Factor. I got to go either if I can't talk to producers into making a vegan Fear Factor, then I will go with Colin Mockery on The Amazing Race. But I'm hoping that I can get to the producers late at night when they're very tired, rub them down in some essential oils, and just talk some sense into them.
Yeah, great. All right.
Wow, that one was tougher than I expected, guys.
To be fair, I would watch either or, so there is no wrong answer.
No, exactly.
I'm just afraid of what they might have me eat, or are they going to suspend me upside down with my head in a bucket of water? I don't want to be suspended upside down with my head in a bucket of water.
No.
I got to go Amazing Race, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Now, is there a show called The Amazing Racist, where it's just a bunch of racists competing all around the world?
There's some political jokes we could make, but
yeah, right.
Be safe, guys. You got a career ahead of you.
Walk away.
I'm already independently wealthy. I can say anything I want, you know.
And
please say whatever you want for us then in that case.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay.
Would you rather always rock a purple mohawk or always wear studded bracelets?
Wow. I could do either one of those, homie.
There you go.
You know what, though? Purple mohawk. Because I'm afraid I might hurt someone with the studded bracelets. You know how I like to flail at any given time of the day? Like, I'll take just 15. You know, some people go like, guys, I need 30 minutes for meditation. I take like 15, 20, 38 minutes out of every day to just flail around. I don't care if I'm in the local Kroger or the Ralph's or a Publix grocery store. And I'm afraid that I might hurt somebody with those studded bracelets.
Oh, okay.
But I can't see what could possibly go wrong wearing a mohawk.
Style points with the mohawk for me. As a former Mohican myself, I approve.
I would literally, they shaved my head down like really, really, really good. Then they made a wig like that was specifically contoured to my head, like made. And then made this mohawk from the wig mold. So they would glue it on. They would shave my head every day with a razor and then glue that on. And it was so comfortable. Like I would literally seriously forget every day that I had that thing on my head. Like it just felt like, oh, this is natural. Yeah. I'd rock a purple mohawk every day.
It's a good look. It's a really good look.
I was going to ask Ace, do you have those bracelets, Ace? Do you wear them?
I haven't had bracelets like that since I was a teenager, but at one point I had both the mohawk and the bracelets.
Yeah. I definitely used, I have a spiked necklace that's very similar to that right now. The only reason I wouldn't want those bracelets, because I do think they are rather dope, is that I would hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And not just myself.
For the safety of others.
For the safety of others, I'm going with the mohawk.
All right, Ace, you got the next one?
Sure. Okay. Would you rather manage Sheamus in a wrestling match or do an improv set with Sheamus?
Oh, wow. Well, I used to go watch. By the way, congratulations, he just got married.
Yes, he did.
I used to go watch him wrestle when we became buddies. I would love to do an improv set with him because we did a lot of improvising in that movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What I would not want to do is be in a drinking contest against him because, as I said, I don't see race, but I definitely see the Irish in him. And this mofo is out to prove that all Irish people can really handle their booze. He's proven it time and time. And like our first day we worked together, he was like, let's go get to know each other. Let's go to the bar. We go to the bar, and I was like, dude, this will never happen again. We we will not challenge each other anymore.
Wow. Okay.
So I will improv with him. I will not have an Irish whiskey drink off.
Okay.
All right. I love Sheamus, one of my favorite wrestlers. He's amazing.
He's good people, man. Yeah, we had really good times together.
I love to hear it. All right. We got, oh gosh, let's see. A couple more left. Here we go. Here's the next one. Oh, would you rather do an improv set with Jerry Lewis or an improv
Carol
set
Burnett.
with Carol Burnett? Oh, okay.
Carol Burnett. Again, like talking about growing up, watching her do her characters, watching her show, the old Carol Burnett show. Yes, pulling that ear. 100% Carol Burnett. Like, her skills were beyond, and she could sing. And look, there's nothing wrong with Jerry Lewis. You know, maybe a little racist. Other than that, that's all. That's all. But just around the corners, just around the edges. You know. But Carol Burnett, 100%. Plus, I am definitely a fan of extra funny women, and she is definitely one of those extra funny people. So
that she is
definitely her.
All right. Well, Ace, you want to take it home? We got one left.
Sure. Last one.
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Oh, wow.
Be a reverse centaur or be a reverse merman.
So the centaur, I got this horse head up top, but I still got my gorgeous, apparently white dude legs, according to this.
Yes.
Even though, again, I don't see color and I don't see body extremities, so I don't know why I said white guy legs. Or a reverse merman. Still, I got the human legs, but I got that fish head. Holy crap. Yes. So, I mean, I gotta, guys, I'm sorry if I'm taking too long in this one, but
no, it's okay.
As a reverse merman, I gotta spend time under the ocean, don't I? I mean, I'm breathing through gills here.
It would.
I don't have lungs.
Yeah, appear so.
Oh my God. Or am I going to be wearing anything to cover my junks? Or how is that going to be?
I would
say one of these.
Dealer's choice. Yeah.
Yeah. User discretion.
Yeah.
User discretion.
It kind of looks like the merman has some sort of thong back.
Yeah, he's definitely got something on covering the goods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a thong on. God, this is tougher than I thought.
This is a hard one.
Here are my fears.
Okay, go ahead.
If I just may lay them on you.
Yes, please.
As that reverse merman, I think something like a killer whale, something that can swim much faster than me, is going to get me. I think they're going to sneak up on me in the dead of night while I'm floating around looking for some mollusks or something like that in the water, and they're going to get me. I think that with that horse thing, I'm going to get picked on a lot, of course. I'm going to get those why the long face jokes. I'm going to get that. Then I'm going to get, Gary, what's wrong with your voice, or you a little hoarse? I'm going to get that. I'm going to get the jokes. I'm going to go to a college party and they're going to go, oh, sorry, dude, we got a pony keg tonight. I'm going to get jokes. It's going to happen. But on the other hand, a lot of women would call me a black stallion. I'm going to get jokes, and look at that nice meaty ass. People are going to want to slap that half man, half horse ass. But at the same time, I'm going to have to go with that centaur, just out of fear of being eaten by a killer whale or a shark or something like that. That's my biggest fear.
Somebody fishing, I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. Also, I'm not a big fan of, and you know I would go straight for the bait every time, Ace. I'm not that smart. I'm not a big fan of cold, and I just figured the ocean's going to be freezing on my tiny little pretty legs.
Could you imagine if you went and ordered sushi, and half the merman came out in a roll?
Yeah.
That'd be
awkward. Do you just pluck the leg part off and just eat the,
like a shrimp? Like
is that it? Do you
only
just
the
pluck
fish
that
part
off?
Well,
eat the fish part.
Another reason to be vegan is all I'm getting from this.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going, and I hate to turn this around on you guys, but what would you guys go on this?
I'm going centaur for sure. I want the
Yeah,
beautiful
both.
mane.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at his physique looks pretty nice.
No, he's got a great physique.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah. So all three of us
Yeah. Okay.
centaurs.
Okay. Whoo.
Well, at least we'll have each other. So, it
Yeah.
We
won't be
will
so
have each
weird.
other. We will have each other.
Well, Gary, you got them all right.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I was
So-
worried that I got the mashed potato one wrong.
No, you got them all right. You did great. So before we have to unfortunately wrap this up, is there any final thoughts you want to leave us with here on this fine Tuesday?
Yes, guys. Listen, a lot of people. Let me be the very first to say hello to everyone. First of all, no one's ever said that before. Hello, everyone. Get out there. Go find your joy. Do that thing that you want to do, whether it's playing guitars and eating tacos. Kid Cadet, what are you up to right now? Like, what are you doing? I know you said you'd like to do some wrestling kind of stuff.
Oh boy. So
What's your specialty?
So I do comic conventions mostly. So I get to interview really cool humans like yourself at various conventions all around the United States. And it is literally my dream job. And I'm also dabbling in the world of casting. So it's been very cool.
Okay, let me bring it back then. Folks, if you want to get out and play in a band and eat a taco on a Wednesday, or just go find strangers and shove a mic in their face and tell them to talk to you, go get it. Go do it. Don't let anybody. Last thing I want to say to you guys, not the last thing, the next to the last thing. When I was in college, I took a one-day improv class. This guy, his name was John, I won't even say his last name, came from the big city of Atlanta to my little college in Clinton County, Georgia, and he taught a one-day improv class. And after the class, he lovingly pulled me aside. I'd never met this guy before. And he said the words, "Improv is not for you. You shouldn't do it." Wow. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to them. He was wrong.
Very
A lot
wrong.
of people in your life will just be wrong. Don't take their words as gold. Mm-hmm. Follow whatever the heck it is inside you that tells you to try something. And if it sucks and you hate it or it doesn't work, there's a million other things out there to try. But may as well go ahead and try that other thing that is in your mind to do. Go do it.
Absolutely.
Wow, I love that so much. Thank you for the positivity. I feel like we need more of that in this world. So Agreed. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you know you're never gonna get that from Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar told me if he's ever on your show, he's gonna cuss and rant and burn stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah. He loves to cuss and rant and burn things.
And I bet Phil Lamar would have picked Merman too, so he can't hang with us.
Yeah. You think he would have? That's something Phil Lamar would do.
I feel like Phil Lamar's a merman.
Kids, forgive me for just one. Not you kids. I mean kids out there and watching.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys, if you ever see Phil Lamar anywhere at a convention or the local Gelson's market buying fresh meats, you let him know you don't approve of what he's doing, who he is, and his choices in life, especially his choice to be a merman, a reverse merman. Let Phil Lamar know you won't take it. You won't take it. Paid for by Gary Anthony Williams. Okay.
Done. Oh, gorgeous. Gary, this has been so much fun. Before we let you go, we're going to go over our upcoming guests that we have coming up the rest of this month, going into next month.
While you do that, I'm going to be giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down to them. And that's that you want to talk about positive, but let's just see how
Let's go. Let's see what happens. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, we'll see who you know, Gary.
I'll start. I'm starting neutral.
Okay. Let's bring him up. Come on, Jude. Okay, so we have this is a funny one. Comedian / dentist Jimmy Lee. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I hate to do this to Jimmy Lee, but okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, we were talking wrestling. We have former WWE superstar Al Snow, probably friends with Sheamus.
I have a huge problem with Al Snow, and that's not a joke, a huge problem. But you know what? I'll go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. You have to.
I went ahead and gave him a thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay. We have the new director and producer of Impractical Jokers, another really fun improv show, Casey Jost.
Okay. I was just in Kansas City with the Impractical Jokers doing a benefit for kids, where those guys were up there. And I know a lot of people think they're funny and all of that kind of stuff. They are. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a thumbs up.
Oh, thank goodness. Woo, okay.
Normally, I really wanted to just stick it to all of these guys, you know.
I wish you would. In December, this is kind of a fun one. Ace, you might appreciate this one. The singer from the band Orgy, which is fun to say, Orgy, Jay Gordon.
Yes,
Wait,
Jay Gordon.
Is Orgy spelled ORGIEY or
Why?
R? Just the letter RG.
Yep.
RG.
Thumbs up.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, we have composer, writer. He's written some of the greatest Broadway shows of all time, like Spring Awakening. He also did the American Psycho musical, Duncan Sheik. Duncan Sheik. Gary?
Oh boy, he did American Psycho?
Yeah, the musical.
Did he do the Young Dahmer animated series though?
Not yet.
Yeah, he hasn't done that yet. It's okay,
Not
but
yet.
he might be signed on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I would say tune out on this one. Don't give this guy a chance. He's proven himself in this world. He doesn't need any more advertising. He doesn't need anything else. But you know what I'm going to do?
What I have a feel, but I don't want to assume.
2 thumbs up on that one. I gave him 2 thumbs up.
Thank you, Gary.
I might be too kind to these people.
I think you are. I think you are. Could have been a little more critical, but I appreciate the positivity, like I said.
Guys, did we just do the best freaking Talkulture ever in the history of?
It feels like it. It feels like it.
I think we just broke the mold.
I think this is one for the books.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I think they should make a movie about it. Like, you know, it feels
Who's
really
gonna
good.
Who's gonna play each of us in the theatrical version of said episode?
Well, I know that Tara Strong is going to want to play Kid Cadet, but we're going to go bigger.
No, please, Tara Strong. That would be such an honor. I love her.
She's going to want to play you, but we're going bigger. We're going bigger.
No.
What's that one actress who does great stuff?
Yeah, her.
I love her. Can we get her? Is she available?
We'll get her. She's gonna have to grow her hair out and retrain her bangs.
Okay.
But we're definitely gonna do that.
Okay.
I was thinking Zach Galifianakis for me.
But he's gonna have to get on a regimen. He's going to have to get on a regimen.
Tattoos.
So we can get a young Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
To play you if that's really what you're going for.
I think mentally, yes. Physically, maybe not.
Is there a guy named Remy Martin, or is that just a drink?
I know the drink.
I don't know. I know the drink.
If there's a guy named Remy Martin, we should get him to play you.
That's who.
If not, we should get a bottle of Remy Martin to play you. When was the last time you were played by a fine liqueur or a spirit?
Well, Jack Daniels has a hand in my life anytime I have to go socialize. So you could say pretty frequently.
So, okay. All right. Just curious.
Yeah.
I love it. And Gary, who would you want to play you?
Oh, wow. Well, there is this young American actor named Gary Anthony Williams.
I've heard of him.
I have as well.
I would not get him to play me.
Okay.
I would probably get somebody like probably Idris Elba, and tell him to drop that fake ass accent he has. That's not his real accent.
Okay.
He's from the South. He's from Fayetteville, Georgia. So probably Idris, and tell him to drop the fake accent and just get real with it.
Love that.
I have Idris do my acting parts, and for all my stunt parts, my body double parts, because he's closer to physique, like Michael B. Jordan when he's been working out. Not The Rock. You know, I don't want anybody to think I'm very sinewy. I'm very muscular and sinewy. So I'm looking for a sinewy actor, and I also like to say sinewy.
It's a great word.
Yeah,
Sinewy. Fun.
Oh, by the way, Ace, I heard that one song of yours, Sinewy. That's a beautiful song.
Creeping up the charts right now.
It's really creeping.
Mm-hmm.
Just a real creeper of a song.
Oh man. Well, this has been such a joy. Thank you so much, Gary. We don't want to hold you up. We know you have a hurricane to go.
Yes, I got to go ride it.
Bust, right?
You got to go bust that hurricane, bro.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. And everyone stay safe. And I guess we'll see you guys real soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great one.
Thanks again,
Bye,
Gary.
sweet people. My pleasure.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.